All right, I am back. I am so sorry for the trouble. Let me get my chat window back up here. Oh, you guys found me. Oh my goodness. That's never happened to me before. That's so sad. My internet is very slow. And let me see if I can pop this out. And I will just do this chat a little bit differently than I normally do. But this should work. All right. Did anybody post the link in the old chat? I don't know if that was even still going. But oh my goodness. That was really terrible. That was unfortunate. Okay. We were on a roll, on a groove, whatever you want to say it. Why does it show my hand as my Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Part 2, we're up. I got my chat up. All right, I'm almost back with ya. Goodness gracious. All right, so this is our link for anybody who maybe was still over there. And we will pop this chat out. And we will get back to business. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you all for being so patient. I am bummed that we kind of lost our groove there, though. My goodness. All right. Everybody can hear me. Everybody can see me. Hopefully we'll get folks piling in here. We lost about half our crowd. All right. I'm going to scroll up through the chat, see what you guys said, if you had any other thoughts. All right. I did post it. Is anybody still in the old stream? Did anybody, if so, shuffle them this way for us? That'll be good. Let me close that. Okay. All right. Let's get rolling again. Will I save the other chat too? Yeah, I will save both streams. I'll keep both uploaded for sure. All right. Boy, oh boy. No, not Ace of Wands. Now I'm all confused. Back to the Six of Wands. Thank you for all jumping over here and hanging with me. That was just like a solid freeze. And there was kind of, once I reloaded it, I tried to just like refresh it. It just ended the whole thing. So there was really no way to get to get it back. Never have I been disappointed by early dismissal until now, right? Yeah, the bell rang, class is over. Like, all right. Let's see. According to the book, the wreath on the head is the same as the wreath on the wand, said Simon. Okay, so right before I froze, we were talking about, is there any different significance to the wreath on the head versus the wreath on the wand? Shane says, battles are won through struggle, just like this stream, right? We will emerge victorious. All right, let's see. Emily said the colors he is wearing seems to be similar to that of the crowd. Perhaps he really is on the same level, but returning from war or new to fame recognition. Let's see. Jen's balanced tarot on the white horse is White Tree Tarot. Let's see. Just got the notification, said Julie. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm just kind of getting my groove back here after having it snatched so rudely away from me. And then hopefully I'm just going to check one more thing and then we will dive right on. I'm just really hoping my internet is not going to bomb out on me like it did, which I don't even know if that was me, but okay, good. I don't have the weird hand thing happening anymore on my thumbnail. Okay, so Donna asks, is the one on his head for his personal victory the one on the wand for the collective victory? Now, that would be an interesting way to look at that, wouldn't it? Thanks for giving me my thumbs back. I appreciate that. All right, the horse looks very prestigious, though, says Emily. Yeah, so... Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm fine. We're recovering. It's all good. All right, so, oh, Shane had a comment here. Perhaps the one on the wand being for sacrifices as well, because it's kind of hung up there, isn't it? Kiana, the green comparison on horse represents nature, new life, and growth, or a new life and growth. Kristen says the wreath on his head in honor of his intellect, on the wand for his deeds. Jen, you woke up in a shitty mood and you thought it may have broken me. We will not let your shitty mood break us, Jen. We are here to lift you up, right? That's what this is about. Emily says, did we decide what we think of the red ribbon on the wand wreath? So I know the red ribbons have some significant, oh, my shadow is not helping, right? But the red ribbon on the wand, come back, focus. There we go. The red ribbon on the wreath or whatever. What do we think that means? Shane says, Jamie says maybe it is the enemy's crown that is aloft on the wand. Ooh, it's almost like head on a stick. That's an interesting thought. Elle says the higher impact of the victory itself is more important than the ego's interpretation of the victory. Simon says the wreaths, they are the wreath of victory and to commemorate the dead. Remember the victims, but also the just deserts. Oh, you said that before, but you're spelling it with one S, so that's deserts. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong or misinterpreting that. The art of directed many interests towards a common aim and coordinating them. A not spell, says Emily. Okay. I was trying to think if there's anything else. So we know we have a bit of red on the horse's bridle. Is that the right word for it? And that often can be confidence, right? I know we've talked about that before. What's my zodiac sign? I'm a Libra. I like things to be rational and fair. Symbol of the higher self, the red ribbon, says Simon. All right. Any other thoughts? See, you get it, air sign. So any other thoughts on this particular version of the card before we start diving into our alternative cards? Oh, good. I said the right word before we move on. Oh, Kieran has a thought. He is accompanied by wand-bearing footmen whose presence on his left side signifies teamwork and a sense of community and belonging, according to Spiritual Tarot. Ooh, thank you for that. Alana says, I think the red ribbon and wreath represents the cause that we are celebrating. I like that. You know, because a lot of times we have like the ribbons, right, for the different causes, whether it's cancer, breast cancer awareness, those kinds of things. Kiana says the blue skies equal truth and clarity of purpose. Emily, what about the horse's blanket? So Simon had some good notes earlier about the blanket, like it covers the horse, so there could be some hidden things. Let's see. I'm here listening, but washing dishes, says Corbin. That's okay. Hopefully we won't go anywhere. No promises today, though. Kristen says green is also a symbol of hope, like the green light in The Great Gatsby. Oh, it's been so long since I read that story. Kristen says longing, not hope. Oh, is also a symbol of longing. Is that what you mean? Green can also signify fertility, which would also then make sense with the wand and the wreath combination, right? Jilly says if you look at the something as coming after the something else, then this card is about coming through a hard time in one piece and actually in feeling like a winner. Maybe the horse is just cold, says Alana. And then, oh, unachieved desire from Kristen. Yeah, I was starting to wonder about that one, I have to admit. Thank you. Thank you, Mads. All right. Oh, the 6 after the 5. Oh, she was holding the shift key. That makes sense. So if you look at the 6 as coming after the 5, then this card is about coming through a hard time in one piece and actually in feeling like a winner. That makes total sense. Thank you. Oh, poor Arby. Are we ready for some questions and some alternative cards? The man is wearing a cloak, so why not the horse, right? Well, I mean, he looks very adorned, that's for sure. I mean, sorry, I'm just lurking, need coffee. That's okay. We've got lots of people throwing out ideas. Hi, Gracia. You know, you made it just in time because we just had a stream catastrophe and had to start over anyway. So, yeah, maybe it's just chilly, says Kristen. He called me Herman. I mean, that's enough of a reason, right? Do we need more of a reason than that? Except for I've called you Herman in the past, so don't boot me. But only by accident. Yay, 6 of Wands. I'm glad you like this card. We've been pretty happy with this one, I think, today, Gracia. All right, so as I usually do, I have 5 decks that I have randomly pulled from my selection here that we will use to look at alternative versions of the card and answer our questions. But when we're answering the questions, you know, it's cool if you think back to the RWS version as well. But sometimes each different card can really bring forth a different meaning. I think I might save this one for last today. So we're going to start with, and then we're just going to go in order of my pile. So the first one that I have is the Healing Light Tarot. And as I expect every week, some people will like my alternative cards. Other people won't be feeling them, and it's okay. Every opinion is valid. Let's see what our 6 of Wands from the Healing Light. And what I really like about this particular deck is the, oh, this is different. Okay, I was going to say is the silhouettes that you see in the cards, but we're going to see that the 6 of Wands is going to kind of do its own thing here. So, I mean, give the one card a chance. This is our 6 of Wands from the Healing Light Tarot. Ah, thank you. Yeah, the edging on this. Oh, but one night I was doing readings for Shane and Jamie using this deck, and that blue came off all over on my hands. I had blue hands. Simon, meh. I mean, this definitely brings the fire. You know, last week we had a Wands card, and we had one card that really brought the fire from the Wands. What do you think? Yeah, see, Kiana says very fiery. It's pippish, says Mendy. This deck doesn't apparently feel like holding back. No, it was pretty much calling it as you saw it. So we have the wreath here, right? We have the wand. So I'll go ahead and pull it close, and then you guys can take a look at all the different elements that we have here. Focus. Maybe that's just too much fire for my camera. There we go. So we have kind of those sparkly ends. Look at all this energy that's happening here in the middle, right? Where everything is crossing. Look at that. That's like an optical illusion, right? It just goes, feels like it just, you could keep going into the center of that forever. We have like some, does that look like clouds down there? This is like a superhero card, says Kristen. Yeah, some night sky and some leaves. Earth and air. Maple leaves, says Donna. Val says, I really like this deck overall, but this card kind of looks like a car medallion, like on a Cadillac or something. It's really showy, like, look at me, showy, like a spider's web, says Wendy. The wreath feels very celebratory. All together for collective success, says Jackie. Alana says, I see a native-inspired celebration where they are dancing around a bonfire and twirling wands as they dance. Ooh, like the fiery wands. Oh, I love those shows. Jen really likes this card. Jamie thinks it's beautiful. White Tree Tarot, those overlapping circles, Venn diagram. Yes, I remember last time we used this deck, I could not freaking remember. So one of the concepts of this particular deck is you really focus in on where the Venn diagram and the circles overlap, and that's really kind of supposed to draw your eye to a specific point in the card to kind of bring forth that additional energy for that element. Donna says it could be in the Olympic logo. Emily says, yes, it's shamanistic in a sense. The wands are lit at both ends, right? So we've got all kinds of fiery stuff happening. You know, when I pull this back and I look at this in the camera, it almost looks like a rose shape. It's not even remotely that, but that's kind of what it looked like at first glance there for a minute for me. Mandy says, I like it too. I might need to look at this deck. No buying decks today. You can just add it to a list somewhere, and then you can research it and decide. I'm always happy to show you more cards from this deck. All right, we've got sibling rivalry happening in here. Essence says, I'm focused on the diamond formed in the center, right here, which is not something I noticed before when looking at this deck until I kind of zoomed in on that. And that kind of grabbed my eye as well. Essence 818. This is the Healing Light Tarot. This is a Lo Scarabeo deck by Christopher Butler. Kiana says the numerology. So for our number 6, advancement, excitement, reciprocity, success, peace, harmony, improvement, balance, integration, union, stability, happiness, communication, cooperation, unequal relationship, and adjustment. Elle says the behind the scenes of what a victory takes. It's not just one person. It takes the collective and affects the collective. Yes, yes, yes. Karen says the numerology, among other things, signifies growth, which the fire energy of this card makes me feel. There definitely feels like something is being made to happen here, for better or worse, right? Oh, so Bassett says, oh, now I see a fire show, maybe. I mean, yeah, I can see the twirling of the wands, like in like the Polynesian fire dances and stuff. Kristen says, yes, I could see even exchange. It is similar to Rune Gebo. Oh my gosh, we are running so far behind today. The rings surrounding the light look like auras and vibrations of the energy, like everything we do impacts others. Looks like fireworks. Our recovery from addiction takes one day at a time, referring to debt collecting addictions, I'm assuming. So let's see if we can answer Simon's question today with this favorite card of his, which is not that. That was last week's question. So what is the biggest influence on our lives right now, and how can we acknowledge it? What is the biggest influence in our lives right now, and how can we acknowledge it? So what does the Six of Wands tell you to answer that question? And in the meantime, Simon said 6 as a pip, stabilization again after the disruption of the 5. How could we ignore it, says Emily. How can we acknowledge it? Like, how could you miss it? Like, whatever it is right in our face, right? So we just need to be not ignoring whatever is flaming up right here. From the appearance of this card, Jen says, too much pent-up energy. Simon, trust this card to be the one in response to my question. Coming through a hard time, says Jilly. We're here to challenge you, Simon. This is the fun of play date. Val says, the biggest thing right now is the coronavirus, and the medallion reminds me of who? Meaning the World Health Organization. Keep going, even if where you're going is unknown, says Jennifer. A huge explosion of energy, power-related, celebrated passion. Creative energy, an ideal time to use it whilst we are limited on doing other things. We're limited on time to do other things, is I think what you're saying there, Wendy. We're needing a win, says Donna. Focus on the bright, swirling things in our lives. What did I miss? Did I miss Val saying something? Oh, the coronavirus and the medallion. You know, that really is a good point about that. I'm challenged, says Simon. Firing on all cylinders, says Jackie. Wendy says, time to use creative energy. Oh, that is okay. I mostly can follow partial sentences. So what is the biggest influence in our lives right now, and how can we acknowledge it? You know, this kind of reminds me too, we had sort of a similar question last week with the Ace of Wands that we answered. And I think it was like Shane's question. And we had that really fiery Ace of Wands from Chiro Marchetti's deck. And it was the kind of that same idea, right? All this pent up energy. So maybe it's acknowledging that we have this pent up energy and this need to do and be, whether it be seen, and being willing to sort of face that and be, you know, I mean, and maybe part of that too is like, you know, putting ourselves out there more, right? Making it so that we can be seen. Because otherwise we'd all be hiding in our little hidey holes. Donna says it does look like the biohazard symbol. It was Simon's question again. Shane, and wait, what do you were? I mean, yes, it was Simon's question. I guess I just don't understand the again. Emily says it's like shit just got real with these flames. Something about the number of wands. Simon's question had the real, oh, was it? Simon brings out these fire. You're right. It was Simon's question. Simon's got a lot of pent up energy is what I think is happening here. Any other thoughts on this card before we move on to the next one? Simon, do you feel like you're getting anything from this card? Do you want to bring it back to this one? Does that help you answer your question more? So how would you answer it differently with the standard RWS versus this healing light? I'd be interested to know that too. Emily says it does feel like a warning as well. Essence, when you look at the ends of each one bursting in flames, so many things split, trying to control it, but you center yourself and harness that energy to produce good results. Emily says it's like a barrier of protection, right? I would feel very safe behind this. Nothing's getting through. Scorched earth, says Tiny Dancer. Simon says, my life is richer. Thank you. Why do I feel like you're being sarcastic? I mean, and things are on fire. Second decan Leo, accept and expand Jupiter's influence, push forward. Val, with the Six of Wands being a victorious card, perhaps we can take a more hopeful view of what we're going through. Yeah, I mean, maybe maybe another big influence in our lives is our desire and our need as a collective group to come out on top and to be victorious and to beat the things that are going on in the world around us, and to know that we will get through this, right? But yes, I think Simon's got a lot of pent-up energy. The politicians trying to leech the victory when it's the key workers who are holding us up. Ooh, another interesting interpretation. Alana, if it has been a while you've been able to connect physically with someone, then when you do, the card shows what will happen. An explosion of energy. Good point. All right, let's see what we've got next. All right, so my next card and I'm trying not to look at the questions. The next one is the Victorian Tarot. So I think the last time we had this deck, I think this was with the Knight of Swords, and I loved some of the different interpretations we ended up getting from this deck that week, because it really brought some different perspectives, which I thought were really cool. Okay, let me move that over there. So this is a black and white deck. These are the backs for anyone who hasn't seen it. This is by Taroko Studios. 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, lots going on here to dive into. You guys didn't want to end play date anytime soon, right? We're just going on here. All right, here is our Six of Wands. Sorry, got caught up in last week there from focus. There we go. From the Victorian Tarot. Ooh, it's windy outside my window right now. Very different feel from our last card, eh? What are your kind of initial thoughts? The rooster on her hat is Bastet noticed right away. Cocky, says Tiny Dancer. You know, but that's really one of the things that can happen in this card, right? There can be this sort of arrogance or whatnot. So that's very apt and appropriate. Everybody's noticing that rooster, right? The rooster is sitting triumphantly on that hat. What a cock. The man is going to smack that rooster right off her hat. He does kind of look like he's going to do that, doesn't he? Focus. Oh, I love looking. This imagery is so detailed. And it's like some of these people look like maybe they're looking at him adoringly, and other people maybe look like they, want to boo him off the stage. I think everybody's just having fun saying the word cock in this. Let's see, what else do we have? Attention seeking, says Donna. Yes, I see that in this card. No clear victor in this card, says Christina. Is he winning? Question mark. I'm not sure. He looks like he's going to hit someone with the raised wand, says Corvin. It looks like a demo, says Bastet, like he's doing some kind of like a demonstration. Lots to unpack in this card. Yes, Emmy. A chicken on the female's head, something coming home to roost, says Wendy. Ooh, that's true. I like that. Shane, that rooster doesn't even seem bothered. In fact, a lady in the background almost looks like she is jeering the man with the wand, right? It's like the crowd's energy seems a little different in this one to me. Essence says, I see false sense of authority. So like he's trying to say like, listen to me. And everybody's like, maybe. I don't know if you know what you're talking about. Mindy says, I intentionally didn't look at Chris Yao's picture of this deck because I'm in recovery and now you put it in my face. Sorry, Mindy. Sorry. Alana says, it looks like a riot or a planning for one. Yeah, Emily says, it looks like they could turn against him any moment, like a proper uprising. Donna says, the other woman's collar is shaped like a wreath. Ooh. Let's take a look. Like the one that's standing right under the man. Her right here. And it's like, what? Is this like a nest? What in the heck is that? Yeah, it does kind of look like the wreath, though, right there, doesn't it? The woman next to him looks as if she's bored. The gentleman aiming at the lady with his wand. Dr. Freud would have some opinions about this. Well, if it is the sex card, as we said when we pulled the RWS. This is such an egocentric card. Yes, it really can be. Donna, she has a ribbon too. It does show the shadows very well. So yeah, maybe the more balanced aspect of this card when we are talking about the shadowy sides. Finding a new passion to pursue. Simon likes the deck. You don't have this one, do you, Simon? Or do you? I didn't think you did, but I could be wrong. So our next question was from Sandra. What do we need to focus on for our spiritual well-being this week? So really with that keyword of spiritual well-being, what do we need to focus on? Oh, is Simon just trying to encourage Mendy? Is that what's happening here? Alana says that man looks like Trump and the citizens who want to riot against him. Some are with him, but most against, right? See, I said I wasn't going to go into politics, but I understand what you're saying there. I do. Let's see. Wow, don't get involved in the bullshit drama, says Emily. So, right, focusing on your spiritual well-being, like don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the hype, the mob mentality that could potentially be displayed here. Don't get caught up in that because that is not serving anybody's well-being. That's for darn sure. Karen says, focus on we instead of me. I like that as well. So we don't want to get caught up in the mob mentality, but we do want to think about the greater good and about the other people in our community and humanity, right? Essence says the woman who has no wand seems to command more respect than the man waving his wand. The loudest sound in the room isn't always the right one, right? Or the loudest voice. Exactly. Spectators have wands down. No challenge. Whoops. Oh, no challenge to his authority here, says Anne. Yep, Victorian Tarot. Oh, you really did like it. Yeah, this is actually turned out, when I first got it, I was really excited to get it. And then I was like, maybe I regretted it. And then when we did the play date with it last time, then I used it the following week. I really like this deck. Val says the rooster crows at the light of dawn and he's on the woman's crown chakra. So we should focus on the light that's around us. Essence says maybe that's why it looks like he wants to bop her in the head. Because she's being listened to instead of him and he's throwing a temper tantrum with his wand back there. That could very well be. Elle says, be fancy. Do all the fancy things. Whack out your fancy candle, self-care, and treat yourself. See, the woman has a bunch of flowers in her hand, so peaceful resistance will lead us to victory. Emily says, and don't listen to sensationalist news stories. Learn the facts and then zone out what is not helpful to hear. Tune into the right voices, right? Just because somebody's loud, again, doesn't make them right. I love that. Donna, the women are calm, so maintain your calm to help your spiritual well-being. So, Sandra, what do you think? Did we answer your question? How are you feeling about that? Take a sip of water in between cards. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. We're still going. All right. I'll assume no news is good news. Shall we move on to our next card? Where the fancy things like poultry on your head? I mean, fashion, it's a statement, right? So, okay. Our next deck. Oh, I think you guys are going to like this one. The Forest of Enchantment. Shall we take a look at this? I know we have a lot of fans of this deck. Okay. So in this deck, the wands are spells. So our card from the Forest of Enchantment. This is, I think this was my first two-toned edging job, by the way. I just kind of had to show that off. And did I show the backs already? Sorry for the light. Okay. Kristen, you just pulled the card out of your Forest of Enchantment. Well, you're then ready to look at it with a nice close-up look, aren't you? Okay. Here is our Six of Spells, otherwise known as Wands. If I get a new deck, does it go on the list for play date? Immediately. The only time I don't is if it's just a flat out Rider-Waite Smith clone. I've gotten a lot of RWS decks lately. So like, for example, I brought in like the Trip and Wait and the Gravy Weight, but because the imagery is still really just the same as our standard, I usually don't add those to the list. But yes, always onto the list for play date. You haven't checked out yet, Maharet. Well, let's see if we can convince you. Baby dragon! Does that remind anybody of like Hagrid from Harry Potter with the little baby dragon? All right. What beautiful energy this card is emitting. Yes. Very, very different from this, right? So this, to me, there's no mob mentality going on in here, at least not for me. It looks like everybody's really excited about what's happening. But let's take a closer look at the, see, they're all like happy and smiling. That baby dragon's been born. A baby Norbit. This must be Hagrid's dream, says Jamie. Yes, very cozy feel of closeness and sense of community, says Alana. Much more joy and universal joy and wonder in this card. I'm scrolling through here. It's there since pre-order time. Oh, look, he knows his mommy. Exactly, Sandra. You achieve much more when working together as a team, says Wendy. Sometimes seeing is believing. Make a believer by believing in yourself. Ooh, Essence, I love that. Shane says there is indeed a sense of pride and warmth and community to help hatch this dragon. It's like, wow, magic. We manifested this dragon as our mascot to protect us, says Emily. Miracles happen, says Wendy. Success, says Kristen. Very intimate feel of family, massive sense of community, collected efforts being rewarded. And I'm not saying who's saying these, but you guys, you know, it's like everybody's kind of got this cozy, comforted feeling from this card, right? Everybody's coming together. Kiana says this card has a more balanced feel. I don't sense an unequal relationship here. It does feel, yeah, that you don't have somebody sitting higher than everybody else, right? Now this guy is in front of the dragon, but it's like everybody is sort of leaning forward and leaning into what's happening here. It takes the whole community, says Psychically Yours. As a community, they achieved a miracle. Yes, and everyone is on the same page. Yeah, this really is a beautiful deck. Everyone sharing the rewards, says Wendy. It does not feel like conflict. They work together to make this victory happen, and they will have to keep up working together to take care of the dragon, right? He's going to get big. It, you know, and you know what they say, right? That phrase, it takes a village. You know, sometimes it takes a village to raise our children, to get things accomplished. Oh, Alana, exactly. I didn't see that when I was saying that, I swear. They can enjoy this moment together, says Bastet. Imagine a baby Norbit to go with your scabbers, Elle. This is a much more Six of Wands feel than the last card, although the other one was beautiful, says Mindy. You know, I feel like it's two sides of the Six of Wands. Like this to me feels like the really positive side of the Six of Wands. This one I think can hearken, depending on how you look at it, to more of the shadowy side of the Six of Wands. We're staying balanced here at Jen's Balanced Tarot, you know? Let's see. Would you say the shape they make is a diamond or square? Not sure if that could mean anything. So you mean like the shape of the people? I guess it depends on which way you look at it. Jackie says justifiable pride in accomplishments and success. Patrice is loving this card. Emily says, and it's community versus ego from a leader. Yes, yes, yes. So our third question was from Bastet 777. Does it still say 777? Yes, it does. How can we connect with our higher self? Ooh. See, and right away, like, how can we connect with our higher self? By connecting with our community, right? By recognizing that we're part of a collective, that collective universal energy. That's what comes to mind for me. But tell me what you think. Oh, Wendy says, this is one of the decks I would grab if leaving in a hurry. Other than the fact that there's one man at the front of the card, there isn't a sense that there is a leader. Connect with others, Aquarius Owl. Connect to like-minded souls, right? I'm glad you're happy. Simon's not happy with the card I chose for his question, I don't think. Join a circle online, says Emily. Jamie says, PMA, positive mental attitude, believe in miracles, right? So how can we connect with our higher self? Believe that we can accomplish great things, right? We can achieve great and miraculous things. Nurture, says Elle. Yes. Connect to higher self through embracing your inner dragon. So identify with the dragon more so than the people. I love that, Kristen. Pride, says Jackie. Yes, Shane, I think Jamie's speaking to you. A shared goal, says Wiccan. Yes, I love that and believe that what we don't see right now is possible. Alana, it takes a community of like-mindedness to reach higher dimensions. We are all interconnected, says Jilly. You know, that's one of the things that really makes the tarot work for me is I believe in that collective energy that we're all putting out into the world and that we all are connected in that way. And it just, every time I even say it, like I get tingles up the back of my neck. It's been happening for like the last 2 minutes because it just, I feel like that's so important. Sit in the spiritual energy and work with other like-minded individuals, maybe, or other like-minded people, says Wendy, and allow the spirit team to work with us. Kiana says, we're all doing that right now, connecting with our community, connect to our higher selves through tarot. Mike says, focus more on your supporters than your critics. Yes. Teamwork, says Jackie. You know, Jamie, you're right. It is for everyone, but we want our Shane to listen, don't we? Emily says, I feel like this card is a mirror of the play date, which I love that. I'm glad you said that about this card. Nurture potential. Bask in the success of the shared goal. Use it as your motivation and physical reminder. The connections to others. Essence says you can train a dragon, but a dragon is going to do what a dragon is going to do. It will grow beyond your control, and you may have to free it. Free yourself from trying to control the uncontrollable. Ooh, a great dive into that card. Love that. Shane. All right, that was great. I think I saw you, Basta, earlier say that you're liking all the answers for this card. So that was a great dive into that one. Oh, all right. We haven't even had to read any of the books. You guys are just all kinds of intuitive today. All right, our fourth card. Yeah, I saved the fifth one for last because I also want to use it for our reversal question. Is from the Numinous Tarot, a wonderful, diverse deck. So I'm very excited to see what this has to say for us with our Six of Wands. Okay. Oh, interesting. Not what I expected, I don't think. So in the Numinous Tarot, the suit of wands has been changed to the suit of candles, but we still have that fiery element. For those of you who have not seen it, these are the backs. Here is our Six of Wands. Tell me what you think. So I'm going to pull it in and then get your thoughts. Get my shadowy fingers out of the way. Oh, the crystals there. Sometimes I really love looking at these in the camera. Oh, there's crystals everywhere in this card. That makes me happy. A very weird wedding cake, says Emily. Yeah, some people are saying wedding cake. I'm just seeing like celebration. Exactly, like Aquarius Owl and Donna. Strawberry? Where's the strawberry? Essence sees a birthday cake. Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking all the cards, Mindy. It is very pretty, but an abundance of red, right? Well, it is the fiery onesie suit, right? Corvin says the cake celebrates one or two people, but everyone gets to partake. Ooh, That is good, Corbin, right? Because somebody is being celebrated here or something is being celebrated, but everybody gets to eat the cake. I love that. I don't know why I never thought of that. Emily says it looks quite violent, though, with the spikes and the red flowers. Oh, that's an interesting take. See, I don't feel that, but I also understand why you would get that. Oh, the strawberries on the second layer. Oh, there they are. Ooh, are they chocolate covered strawberries? Because those are the best kind of strawberries. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. I'm not sorry. You know, I'm never sorry for showing a deck that people actually like. Shane says the amount of work that I see in tiered cakes is incredible. It takes a careful hand and lots of time. That effort normally is highly enjoyed by many, right? So this definitely took a lot of work to get. So the cake itself, while maybe in celebration of something, is and of itself a victory. Woo, I like that, Shane. Awesome. Yeah, I don't see the spikes, but you know, are we seeing, oh, is it like kind of like the spiky nature of these flowers? You get a piece of cake, you get a piece of cake, everybody gets a piece of cake, said in Oprah's voice as she's handing out cars. This one is out of print, isn't it? I do not know the answer to that. If it is, I apologize. But I did recently back this creators. So this is by, I want to make sure I say their name right, Noel Arthur Hempel, H-E-I-M-P-E-L. They recently did a Kickstarter for their Oracle deck, and I backed it, and I'm very excited about it. I don't know, did anybody else back that Oracle deck? I think, Al, didn't you do it as well? Very Alice in Wonderland. The crystals on top are spiky. Oh, I guess that's true. I just see crystals and I think, oh, crystals. Oh, and Jennifer, you backed it as well. Is that smoke around the top of the flame? Let's see. Maybe. Focus again. Maybe if I can get it to focus on the crystals. Why does it just, I'm a finicky camera. It looks kind of, I mean, let's say yes. It does not want to focus on that right now. Let's see. The greenery is wreath-like, right? Oh, Corbin, you backed it as well. Oh, good. I think that's going to be another. I mean, I think any work that Noel's doing is great. Like it needs to be out there. Oh, maybe poppers, right? Like little sparklers. This is one I would order by accident. Did you mean to say by accident in quotes, Mindy? Essence said, yes, I sure did back it, waiting for the survey so I can add the book. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything? Oh, Alana, after all the effort, it takes one stupid mistake or person and all of that beautiful work goes crashing to the floor, right? Or one troublesome little youth who goes and like sticks their hand in the middle of the cake. You know, you just never know. Oh, it is still in print. Thanks for saying that, Al. I appreciate that. Oh, yes, we got to talk about Shane's bags at some point. Still coming. All right, so our next question from Aquarius L, how will this month change for us? How will this month change for us? Might we have something to celebrate at some point? Anybody have anything to celebrate this month? What do you think? We are all going to eat cake. Yes, or we're all going to bake. You know, I haven't baked at all since self-isolation started. I am not that good in the kitchen, but that could be. I can't decorate a cake though. I once worked in a bakery for like 3 weeks and somebody asked me to write on the top of their cake like happy birthday. And I about had a heart attack because they knew I could not do it well, even though I had spent hours practicing. I'm like, you really don't want me to write on your cake. My anniversary. Oh, well, happy anniversary this month, Donna. Gracia's husband's birthday. Happy birthday to your husband. We're all going to celebrate these things together. That'll give us something positive to focus on. Oh, White Tree Tarot's birthday is in May, so happy birthday in advance to White Tree Tarot. Keep us posted as we are closer to the actual date. Bassett says it's going to be sweet, and there will be cake. What else do I need to know? Karen says it looks like the cake is sitting on a table runner, and if you pulled the runner, the cake would topple. Ooh, a bit like having the rug pulled out from under you. How will this month change for us? Somebody will pull out the runner from underneath us? That'll be interesting. We're going to have to check in with this later and see what happens. Wendy says baking every week in our house is quite therapeutic. Sandra's going to make Slimming World muffins, and I'm not good with cooking. Ooh, let us know how it goes, Sandra. Celebration of spring, says Julie. Flowers blooming, warmth returning in the northern hemisphere, that is. Yeah, so we'll get to celebrate that. Well, things get a little colder in the southern hemisphere. Alana, yes, staying at home, resting and eating food, and watching YouTube videos from fabulous creators. Essence, all these flowers. April showers bring me flowers. Hey, you know, observations while we're answering the questions. It all kind of goes here, you know. So Aquarius Owl, if you're still here, oh, I'm sorry, Jen. I know you do not like the cold weather. Did we answer your question okay? Oh, Mother's Day, said Aquarius Owl. Yeah, that's happening in May as well. We're going to have to figure out how to celebrate in a socially distanced way. But I think we're all getting better at this. I had a lovely May Day celebration with my children, both born and adopted this week, and that was fantastic. All right, our fifth and final deck. So now we're going to take it back to basics a little bit here. And we are going to take a look at the 5-cent tarot came up. And this is one that I'm almost skeptical about including in Playdate because the imagery is sometimes really buried behind all of the keywords. But I thought then we could use this to transition into our reversals. So that's why I saved this one for last. Let's see. Celebration, but different to what we would normally imagine celebration to be, says Emily. Yes. I love this community too. You make me all warm and fuzzy when you say things like that, Patrice. Don't make me cry during Playdate. Okay, I can't get that back in the box, but that's okay. All right, so in the 5-cent tarot, our wands are represented by matches. All right, so this is kind of interesting, and I think tell me what you think of this one. So the imagery on here is often very much, well, it is entirely pretty much animal based. There we go. So that's 5. We don't want 5. No wonder that was weird. Hold on. We'll deal with that card later. Okay. You know, I do that about like every other play date. Like I pull the wrong card. Let's do the 6. This makes much better sense than the ants. I was like, conflict? What? Okay, let's try this again. Acclaim. So here we have our matches. There's our wreath. Is that an ostrich? Yes, that's an ostrich. I'm trying to read. So we get some greenery here. Is that an emu? Is it an emu or an ostrich? Who knows animals better than I do? Many people. That was a rhetorical question, I suppose. So we have other keywords here. We have success and victory before we turn this thing upside down. Okay, we think ostrich. So anything in particular stand out in this card for you? And I'm not sure what the ostrich, I mean, I guess the ostrich looks like a very prideful animal. It kind of struts, right? This is my ostrich strut, just so you know. Alana's like, I don't know what to make of that card. Those matches look like buds. Yeah, so it almost looks like flowers that are getting ready to bloom. I can totally see that. Now we don't have a red ribbon on our wreath, but we have like more green foliage here. Emily sees growth. Karen says ostrich feathers and hats of the rich in Victorian times. Oh yes, a feather in your cap. I remember that phrase rings very true from this card. You can't help but notice an animal that large. Very true, Donna. Shake a tail feather, says Ms. Looks very proud, says Emily. Yes. Look like a giant beet without my glasses. Oh, no. Wear your glasses. It'll help. But also the wreath. It feels like that bird could be a celebration dinner. Oh, don't eat that. Don't. I mean, I know people eat ostrich, but let's not eat this one. I feel attached already. Lays one of the biggest eggs, says Ms. Am I saying that right? Yeah, M-I-Z. Anything else coming to mind? There, in all honesty, there's not a ton that goes on in these cards. They're really quite simple, but also that can be a good thing sometimes, right? Keeping it basic. The ostrich or whatever does not look happy to be wearing that getup. You think he feels a little constricted by the wreath? Yeah, he's like straddling the wreath. That can't be comfortable to walk like that. Can it? His eye is bigger than his brain, says Aquarius Owl. Something about it looks like a bird dressed in herbs for the oven. Oh, we have a hungry crew here today. Interesting how all the matches are behind apart from that one. So we have the one. And that's the one that's going through the wreath, right? So that maybe harkens back to our wand that goes through the wreath like we do here in our original, right? Good observation, Elle. I didn't notice that. Emily says he's constricted by the wreath. He looks uncomfortable. These are very fast birds. Like this bird won the race, right? Almost looks like legs tied, ready for the roast. You feel? I don't think that ostrich would have any problem getting out of that wreath, says Val. So he's there by choice. Is that what you're saying? The ostrich is the symbol of wealth and abundance. Thank you, Kathy. See, I don't know enough about sort of animals and how they oftentimes tie into the tarot. I'm not great at animal-based decks, so I appreciate that. Don't ostriches put their head in the sand? Ooh, sometimes, yes, Wendy, sometimes they do. Well, now there have been a couple of comments about the ostrich. I like the idea of the symbol of wealth and abundance. That to me speaks and resonates with this card. Red Hot Poker's plant. Is that what that plant is called, Jackie? With these ostrich feathers, I have to think of old-time bathrooms and pampering. Hi, Butterfly Magic. We are on our 5th and final card for the week, but it's nice to see you. Donna. Jilly had her epiphany, and Donna says villagers with torches are coming after him. I think it's the foliage. What are those plants around its feet and head? Like these things here? Getting your head out of the sand. Now that's a victory. Very true, Elle. Like if you pull your head out and pay attention, you are winning, I think. Even if it's stuff that you don't want to hear or don't want to know. The matches look like the red hot poker plant. Oh, I don't know that plant. So our 5th and final question, I don't want to keep you guys all day, although this is fun. Kiana asked, what is the best way to incorporate some self-care this week? How does our 5-cent tarot, and if you need a fallback, we can pull out the RWS, but how does our 6 of Wands answer the question, what is the best way to incorporate some self-care this week? Let's see here. Shane says, have you seen an ostrich dance? They flare out their wings and dance, often to attract mates, but it's big and full of flair. They are also quick and kind of dangerous. Ooh, interesting. Plus, if you can get yourself out of becoming a roast, that's something to celebrate. I'm assuming you mean if you can get out of becoming a roast, Emily. So what is the best way to incorporate some self-care this week, right? Strut your stuff. Like, be confident. That's kind of the first thing that comes to mind for me. Nap, says Butterfly. Yes. Beet juice, beet tea. What's happening? Oh, because without glasses, you're still seeing the beet. Stay out of the limelight, says Donna. Love yourself. Fill up your own cup, says Emily. Right? Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the small victories or the big ones, right? That's very self-caring. Sometimes somebody said right at the beginning of Playdate, right, about not being too humble or downplaying the things that you've accomplished or the things that you do. I know right now, for example, we have a lot of people who probably are experiencing a lot of stress because they are putting themselves out on the front lines. And I know people are celebrating them, but also I think a lot of humility has come with that. And these people are like, I'm just doing my job. But still, I think what I want to say is, even though you're just doing your job, you're still doing a job that's really important and worthy of celebration right now. You know, I mean, it's like being willing to, even though it seems like it's mundane, or it seems like it's just what you do, recognizing that you are contributing in a really great way can be very self-caring and loving. All right, so while I was on my little soapbox there, let's see what other people had to say. Take time for yourself, pamper yourself. See yourself as wealthy with abundance, right? Don't turn away from abundance. Let's see. Put your own needs before other people's wants. Sometimes that's really important, Emily. How should we incorporate self-care by dancing like an ostrich? You know, sometimes just letting loose and dancing it out. Does anybody watch Grey's Anatomy? They just dance it out. Sometimes that'll do it. Honor yourself, says Emily. Reverence for self. Good old abundance, Elle. See, the message just keeps coming up. All right. So before I send you on your way, we have a few more things to accomplish here. Let's talk about what happens when this card is upside down. Crazy dancing. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, a good old dance it out. So when we turn our Six of Wands upside down, and today, because we have the 5-cent tarot, let's go ahead and see what this reversal says here. And I'll give you some cheater hints here, right? So we have arrogance, right? We talked about that. Pride. What's that other one? Oh, disgrace are some key words that the 5-cent tarot came up with. But what do you see when this card is reversed? And if you don't read reversals, if it's blocked or the energy is blocking or it's some kind of an obstacle, here we go. Kiana's got reversals, delays, rewards rewards don't materialize, being let down by others, lacking confidence, arrogance, self-important, unapproachable, overlooked, unpopular. Elle says, getting your head out of your arse. It may not feel like it's good self-care, but it's the best thing you can do sometimes. I'm guessing that's kind of going back to our upright ostrich. Shane says the wreath is going to slide right off the wand. I think that's one of the things that really stands out right away when you turn this card upside down, right? It's like that victory, it could slip through your fingers just like that, right? Emily says the truth comes out. Butterfly magic. Dude falls off his horse and the ostrich pokes head out of the hole in the ground. That sounds like chaos. He will drop the wreath. Bastet says there's something blocking your path that leads to victory. You know, is that something else or is it yourself, right? He falls off his high horse, loses his wreath, and will be one with the crowd, right? So hopefully they're not in a riotous mood when that happens. Tiny Dancer, did you think I was just going to fall backwards and spread my legs? Oh, goodness. Jackie, being too proud to see the truth. Ms., if he's turned upside down, the sheet will be pulled over his eyes like the ostrich head in the sand, right? So it's like that will kind of fall over and cover his eyes. Ooh, very interesting. Rewards are delayed, defeated by ego. So Emmy's going back to the self-care. Do bury your head in the sand, meaning disconnect from the outside world for just a little bit and take a bath and relax and do some meditation and recharge. That's very good self-care advice. Simon, a fall from grace due to the ego. Perhaps torn about by the crowd, says Emily. What is it that we are not willing to see? Alana, the riot card. Trump falls off his podium and becomes long forgotten and trampled on. Again, so many things to say that I'm probably not going to. Emily asks, what are we denying? Watch for successful enemy. Ooh, so make sure somebody else isn't triumphant, right? Or somebody else might win that battle or that victory. Very good stuff. So let's talk about some of our activities this week that we have. What is that? What is that? Oh, that was my 6 of matches. This was all very good stuff. Oh, Kiana had some more stuff. Negativity, pessimism, self-doubt, going your own way without the need of followers, loss of recognition, defeat, fall from grace, stop bragging, be humble. The higher you stand, the farther you fall, right? Sometimes that's happened. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So I like to read our alternative activities first these days, but I'll still tell you what activity we have in the playbook. So let's see what we've got for you as an activity to help you embrace the 6 of Wands this week. All right. Oh, this is a fun one from our dear Jilly. You won first place! Exclamation mark. Think of at least one thing you do well or that you have accomplished. You can do it. Everyone has things that they are good at. So if you're thinking like, oh, I don't know what I'm good at, there's something. Find that thing. Then create a 6 of Wands award for yourself. Oh, please put these in the Facebook group. This would be so much fun. With your new award nearby, use the following spread to reflect on your victory. So we're going to embrace the creativity of the wands by creating this award. And then we're also going to get a tarot spread. Ooh, Julie outdid herself this time. First question, or first position in the spread: what challenge or weakness did I overcome in order to do this well or accomplish this thing? And sorry, I'm going to pause for just a second. Don't forget that I will post this under the video when it uploads, as well as I will put this activity in the Facebook group. Position number 2, what strength did I display in order to do this well or accomplish this thing? So spread 1, what challenge or weakness did I overcome? 2, what strength did I display in order to accomplish this? Position 3, how do others see me as a result of having this skill or accomplishment? And then spot 4, how do I see myself as a result of having this skill or accomplishment? So very much embracing kind of these different sides that we can have of the Six of Wands. If you still like to play with the playbook occasionally, this book is a little bit different than what we do with our activities, because this is more about just connecting with your deck rather than a particular card. But the activity that is associated in the Tarot Playbook by Linda Cowles with the Six of Wands is called Making Headlines. Oh, so it kind of looks, I need to flip my thing here, but it kind of looks, this looks like Six of Wandsy. Every journalist knows the 6 essential ingredients that makes a news story: who, what, where, when, how, and why. They also know that nothing can be newsworthy if you find the right angle, or that anything can be newsworthy. Ooh, sorry, very different meaning. You just got to sniff out the story, dig up some dirt, and voila, suddenly the chess club is a dent. I don't know what's happening again. The aim of this game is to try to predict the top story on the front of tomorrow's newspaper. Decide now which, so this is a predictive tarot reading exercise. So that could be fun and interesting. So speaking of the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, if you do these activities, please post them in the Facebook group or on Instagram if you use the hashtag Tarot Playdate. That is always fun to see. If you have alternative Six of Wands cards that you want people to see. So does anybody, before we go, want to share any of their creative endeavors from this week? Hint, hint. Not so subtle. Hint, hint. Kristen says, I predict that the headline will be about COVID. Let me see if I missed anything else from the chat. Oh, I got a second troll today. This is fun. Let's see. Okay, there we got about bragging. This is the time you can actually brag. Celebrate yourself. Shane, let's celebrate your accomplishment today, shall we? I think we will. So my son Shane has an announcement that he embraced the Ace of Wands and inspired by the Fool and taking a leap this week. Go, Shane, go. Is there a link? We're waiting with bated breath. Oh, here we go. For my Tarot Playdate, I drew the Fool. However, many people know that I've been working on something, so there's a link to bags. The Etsy shop is open, Wolfbound Creations. So Shane's been making drawstring bags. So these are 2 that I have. I'm sure that was very, very attractive. So I have this one here. This one houses my blushing Fool lined on the inside with this beautiful dark blue. This one, I think there's a version of this one in the shop right now. There's one called the Royal, and there's another one called the Royale. And it's because they have different linings on the inside. And then this one here, this one has my Morgan Greer in it because its box is like beaten up all to heck. So Shane was very creative and was sewing his little heart out all week long, all weekend long, getting that Etsy shop going after they tried to like shut him down the first time he tried. He has persevered and he has been victorious. And I'm a proud mom, so we have to talk about this. So, all right, my friends, you guys posted a link to the shop, I'm assuming. Thank you. So, you know, normally we don't just do flagrant advertising here, but we got to support our own, right? So if anybody else has anything that they would like to share this week, let's celebrate our accomplishments. So I'm going to encourage anybody who's a member of the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, if you have something you want to celebrate, something you accomplished this week or recently, or that you're planning to do and accomplish this month, please share it with us. We will celebrate you. All right, you guys, thanks for sticking with me through our crazy technical difficulties and 2 live streams. It was wonderful as always, and I really look forward to seeing you all next week. So until then, I'm sending you, as always, much love. Love you all.